Hello and welcome to World Talks on TVP World with me, Ashim Kumar. Today we welcome Oleksiy Goncharenko, a member of the Ukrainian Parliament, to discuss President Volodymyr Zelensky's upcoming meeting with US President Donald Trump. As Ukraine and the US negotiate a critical minerals deal, Zelenskyy insists that security guarantees must be part of any final agreement. Meanwhile, Trump has proposed that Ukraine compensate the US for past military aid, a demand Zelenskyy has rejected outright. With tensions high and global stakes even higher, what does this meeting mean for Ukraine's future? Well, we'll explore these key developments with our guest, Oleksiy Goncharenko. Oleksiy, welcome back. Thanks for taking the time.
Hi.
Okay, so top priorities for President Zelenskyy in Washington. What are they?
I can tell you what I think they should be. I don't know really what he is taking with him. I think that the most important is your red lines of Ukraine and the peace negotiations with Russia. It's clear that Trump doesn't want to take Ukrainians to the table. He's clear about this. I don't like it, but I don't think it is catastrophic, because the most important thing is the result, not sitting at the table. So I think we need to be very clear about our red line, about what could be unacceptable for us. So if I would be president today, I would speak about three things. First, territorial integrity of Ukraine. De facto, it is violated our territorial integrity, and it looks like part of our territories will be still under control of Russians after end of hostilities. But de jure, we need to keep it very clear that this is Ukrainian territories and they are illegally occupied by Russia. Second thing is Ukrainian sovereignty, meaning that it is right of Ukraine to make its own choices about what army to have, what military production to develop, what military alliances to join, what other alliances like European Union to join. Yeah, it's clear that we're not weighted in NATO today, but we need to be free to ask to take us wherever we want to. And that is very important. Our sovereignty shouldn't be limited, because I think that will be the main aim of Russia. And number three red line is security guarantees. There should be some security guarantees which will prevent Russia from attacking again. That's three things which I would be clear about, and will explain to President Trump that we believe in him as negotiator. We have a lot of respect to him, but if these red lines will not be respected, we will just say no to any possible deal which will be made.
Understood. Thanks for laying that out, Oleksiy. Now, let's leave occupied territories to one side for the moment and talk about the security guarantee. Now, it looks like we have a framework agreement on the sale of minerals, rare earth minerals, to develop a fund partially owned by the US, which is going to be used for reconstruction and reinvestment. What is the general view of that? Because there is a line of thought which says, well, look, you know, if the US has invested in Ukraine in purchasing those minerals, this is actually a security guarantee, because any attack on Ukraine would risk US lives of people who are working there. What would you say to that?
I don't think so. I mean, from some point of view, yes, but in reality, there was American business in Crimea when it was occupied by Russians. It was American business in Donbass, not too many, but still, when Russians occupied it. And it did not stop Russians from attack, and it did not prevent occupation. So I really don't think that we can count just if we will have American companies, this is security guarantee. I'm really not sure about this. Yeah.
No, understood. However, one might argue that these are critical resources for America's strategic advantage, and the approach to the people working on them might be different from the US. We have a soundbite of President Trump. Let's have a look.
We're working very hard to get that war brought to an end. I think we've made a lot of progress. I think it's moving along pretty rapidly. And I want to thank all of the people that are here that have been working on it. And we'll let you know what happens. It'll either be fairly soon or it won't be at all. We'll be signing a historic agreement that will make the United States a major partner in developing Ukraine's minerals and rare earths and oil and gases. And we have a great understanding. I think it's going to be great for Ukraine. We're going to be at the site.
Well, clearly, before any mineral mining can begin, we have to have peace. And what Trump seems to be saying there is that there has to be an agreement fairly soon, or not at all. What do you make of that?
I agree. From the very beginning, I was telling that either this Trump will make this deal. My personal estimation was till the April-May. It will go for a long time. I mean, someday this war will be over in any way, but maybe not this year in this case. So I agree with the fact that either it will be quite soon, or it will not happen this year. So we will see what will happen. We want peace in Ukraine. I personally want peace. I want the war to end, but by the red lines, which I just told you. And I think it's not too much that we are asking if we're speaking about this.
No, I think many would agree with that sentiment, Oleksiy. Now, another interesting conversation was had between Keir Starmer, the UK Prime Minister, and President Trump. And Keir Starmer has said that Britain would be prepared to put boots on the ground as part of a peacekeeping force. And President Trump said, well, basically, we've got your back. If you need our help, we will help. Your thoughts?
I think that can be part of security guarantees, boots on the ground. President Trump is quite clear that will not be Americans, but it can be French, it can be British, and can be other nations. So I hope they will make this decision. That can be part of these guarantees. On itself, it will not be, but as a part of one of the parts of this puzzle, it can be. And I hope it will be.
Understood. Now, Sergei Lavrov, the Russian foreign minister, has said that any troops from NATO countries are simply unacceptable to them, even as peacekeepers. So they're not going to like this very much. How do you think that's going to influence the conversation that's currently taking place in Istanbul between US and Russian negotiators?
Don't listen to Lavrov. Lavrov's aim and task is to raise the stakes. Trump said that he spoke about this with Putin, and Putin was not a game. I more believe to Trump than to Lavrov. So Russians will try to raise the stakes, and they always do this, and they don't want any peace. That's also true. They will try to drag in all these as long as possible. They are absolutely okay now. They wanted this meeting with Americans to destroy international isolation of Russia, and they unfortunately succeeded in this. Now they want to lift at least part of the sanctions. I hope they will not be successful in this. Well, now they see how relationships between the United States and Europe are deteriorating, in relationships between the United States and Ukraine are deteriorating. So it's absolutely, everything is great for them. All champagne bottles are empty in Kremlin. That is reality, and they will not be in a hurry to make any next steps.
Understood. Now, I wanted in the last minute or so that we have left, Oleksiy, to ask you about your view on the European response. Europe has been told, basically, you're in charge of your own security, and that has leaders in many European countries kind of scrambling to decide what to do. How do you view their progress?
Really, I should be frank with you, for the moment, really weak. And I don't hear the united voice of Europe, and I don't see the decisive steps. Just one easy thing, just to seize Russian assets, which are in Europe. Not just to freeze it, but to seize it right now, because right now Europe needs weapons to give it to Ukraine, to continue for Ukraine to defend European borders. And even this is not done. I should be frank with you, it's disappointing. And I hope Europe will be much more strong and much more decisive.
Well, we all, I think, hope that. Oleksiy Goncharenko, thank you very much for sharing your views, as always. Come and see us again soon. Bye-bye. And that's all from us in this episode of World Talks. Goodbye.